Welcome to Chatsunami. Hello everybody and welcome to the finale of Mass Effect month. My name's Satsunami and joining me today, according to my very thorough notes, is none other than the elusive Dan, the future Mrs. Vicarian, and Mr. Look Out, he's playing Andromeda.
Oh God.
Burn!
Wait, hold on. I'm getting a call. Hello? Oh, right, okay. Sorry guys, I got the wrong names. So joining us tonight, I swear to goodness, I'm going to fire that assistant. Joining us tonight is none other than the wonderful Dan from Casting Views, the amazing Marie from Two Girls, One Reusable Cup, and last but certainly not least, Luke from the Nerdstalgic podcast. Everybody, welcome to the finale of Mass Effect month. How are you all doing?
Very good. Although I do actually prefer elusive Dan, so if you could call me that for the rest of the episode, please. Yes.
Well, you know, I'm doing fine too, but I am still playing Andromeda.
Yeah, and I am married to Garrus. I'm sorry, it is Mrs. Vicarian. You can't fire your assistant over that.
I did wonder when I was playing for recently why Garrus had a ring on his finger. I was going to question it, but I thought, you know what? Nah, it's fine.
I made an honest alien out of him.
I do want to say, listeners, that Satsu, you've got a task on your hand tonight because the pandemonium we've caused before you press record. I think good luck to keeping us in line tonight.
Oh yeah, I cannot wait for this episode because, and this is something I was telling to you guys, to the rest of Twitter, to anyone who would really listen, you know, the people passing me in the street, they got an earful. So yeah, not only is this the finale of Mass Effect, but this is also the 200th episode of Chatsunami, at least officially, but let's not go into that.
Congratulations on that. Congratulations.
Yeah. Congratulations, buddy.
Oh, thank you. And you know what? I couldn't have thought of a better group of podcasters to spend this iconic episode with. So yeah, today we are indeed going to be going through our very not stress-inducing for legal reasons. I'm looking at the Red Panda lawyer. He's waving me down saying do not say stress-inducing episode where we are going to be doing our trivia quiz. So long-term listeners, you'll know the score by now. These amazing podcasters tonight, they are going to get a set of questions, and this time we're going to go through each game. So each game has 5 questions attached to them, and again, amazing podcasters. I keep saying this so that you don't leave the call.
It's all right, my head's big enough as it is. I won't get through the door soon.
So yeah, they have to guess whether the facts that I'm telling them are true and indeed false. But before we get into the meat of this episode, let's look back at this month because it has honestly been an absolute whirlwind of a month. And I'm going to go to Luke first because you and I did the first episode together. We did Mass Effect and Mass Effect Andromeda, both absolutely amazing episodes. So what are your, and again, no pressure to say fond memories of the month.
Well, being first is pressure as it is. No, to be honest, the glaring thing that comes to mind is just being given the chance to talk about Andromeda. I know we all joke about it, but it is a special sort of game in its way. And it's nice to be given a platform where I can talk about it without any ridicule or any sort of negative thoughts. Somebody who's actually given it a chance and is up for talking about it. So I'd say that's my sort of biggest highlight. As we're talking about sort of Mass Effect 1, it started it all. It's the reason we're all here at the end of the day. It's a very special game for us all. How can I explain it? It was just magical. And it was a wonderful time to sit and talk with you and to be able to dissect such an incredible game that started it all. Really, it's the genesis of Mass Effect. And I had such a fantastic time with you. And to be honest, not just because Marie and Dan are here, but Marie's episode was hilarious and I couldn't stop laughing all the way through. Those 2 hours flew by. And Dan, what you did, I finished off your episode today with Chatsu. I couldn't stop laughing when you was on about Space Canada. But honestly, what you've all done and what we've been able to achieve with this Mass Effect month has just been incredible. So I think we all deserve a pat on the back. It's been one hell of a journey and thank you for including me.
Oh no, absolutely. You've been fantastic throughout and especially putting up with me, well, not slandering Andromeda, but poking fun at it, let's just say.
To enjoy something, you've got to be able to poke fun at it. Like, I love Cat and Hat, and I know how bad that is, but you know, I love it, and I'm happy to poke fun at it. And it's one of those with Andromeda. It's the fact of, I know what the game is, I know why it's not widely enjoyed, but I always say to people, at least give it a go, give it a try, instead of just being overly horrible and sort of negative to it. So to be given the opportunity to be able to talk about it in a sort of positive light, breaking it down, and just being a decent sort of fun conversation. When we did have a laugh, because again, we'll all admit Liam is very, very dry. He's probably one of the most driest characters next to Jake Jacob. I will say it here. But yeah, it was an absolute joy.
So moving it on to you, Marie, because of course you and I broke a Chatsunami record, would you believe, by 3 minutes over the previous episode that was the longest. So I was looking back, and the longest episode of Chatsunami before this was for legal reasons, I'm prefacing and preparing you for what I'm about to say here, but it was a Christmas episode where we reviewed 2 films. Dan knows what I'm talking
I know
about.
what's coming here, yeah.
Where we reviewed 2 films, Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Bone Alone. Yes, it's a dog parody of Home Alone, for the love of God. I have to disclaim that all the time. But yeah, your episode and I is indeed the longest so far of Chatsunami at a whopping 2 hours, 13 minutes. And it was an absolutely incredible episode. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the month?
Hang on, we only broke the record by 3 minutes. Unacceptable. I want a half an hour at least.
You're going to have to come back for the Gareth special next year.
No, I'm just going to take my time of my answers as long as possible to make this episode the longest Chatsunami episode. Hope you guys don't have any plans.
Well, I don't now.
But overall, the whole month has just been so much fun. I mean, I think I said this in my episode, and I rarely get to talk Mass Effect, and just having found you guys, and not just found you guys, bullying Satsu into playing Mass Effect has been just so much fun, and just doing this massive collaboration. And I think my favorite part has to be the intro that you and Luke did for the first one. Honestly, so good. I was in queue because I was dealing with Portuguese bureaucracy and trying to get something done, trying to prove that I'm not a criminal. And I was just in the queue laughing my ass off. Got some strange looks, but anyway, free promo. But overall, yeah, this has just been such a fun experience. And also, thank you. I think you should have had a counter of how many times I said Garrus, or just what percentage of that episode was just me talking about Garrus. And I think that it was just me holding back, because yes, I could do a whole episode on why that man is the greatest alien in the whole entire galaxy.
Well, what you don't know, Marie, is Satsu, Luke and I have actually got a sweepstake going on how many times you said it, and I've got you down for 428. So it feels like we're a third of the way there now. So
Yeah, I think you've said it that many times. I think you've actually brought him into existence somewhere.
Oh, please do. I honestly, this is how sad my life is. I sometimes get so sad thinking about that he's not a real person. He's just perfect. He's just, he's somewhere in the galaxy doing his calibrations, not knowing who I am.
Look, all I'm saying is it's the world's most dangerous drinking game. If you had to drink every time Garrus came up, I was like, yeah, better not put that into the ether. No.
Tempted to test that out now.
Oh, please don't. But moving on to you, Dan, and your love of Space Smurfs. I swear to God, that is the last time I will ever say that joke.
We're done. We're through.
But yeah, of course, you and I wrapped up the trilogy by doing Mass Effect 3, which I have to say was quite emotionally taxing, I will say. You know, we got through it in the end. And yeah, what are your final thoughts on this month?
Yeah, it's funny what you said about emotionally taxing, because I think there is a bit where you can hear my voice cracking a little bit where we're talking about Mordin, which I didn't think would happen when I was talking, as Marie, as you alluded to, about a computer character, right? But no, I'm just going to echo what the other two have said. Firstly, thank you for letting me be a part of it. And also, Luke and Marie, it just goes to show when you're hearing people who absolutely love something talking about it, because I was listening to both your episodes and I messaged Satsu privately and said, that's not what I would have said about that, because we've all got our own experiences of it. And just the way you two were talking about it is just great to hear. And I've actually said to Satsu, he should do this for the next 2 years, but we rotate the games, because I could have chosen any one of the three, but I thought I'd choose a third one just because it is the culmination of it. And yeah, it's just great that all these years later that, you know, we're still able to talk about it the way we are, and there's new people still playing it. And Maria, as you said, it's great to actually have other people to go on about it and not tell you stop going on about that game kind of thing.
I think the rest of the PodPack feels that way.
It's been a brilliant month, and no, it's incredible to have kind of shared it with you guys as well. So
thank you.
Personally, it has been probably one of the most ambitious, well, I don't want to say crossovers, but the most ambitious collaboration I've done with other podcasters. And in all honesty, I love the fact that it's about a topic that you three especially are very passionate about. And as Marie said, she very much bullied me into playing these games. Dan indoctrinated me, and Luke was holding holding the baseball bat of Mass Effect lore right behind him. So, it has been absolutely fantastic collabing with you guys. And honestly, if I had to pick a favourite, I could not. And I'm not just saying that because all three of you are here, but I've listened to the first episode, I've listened to the second and third, listened to Andromeda again. All of them are just absolutely fantastic. And yeah, it's just been probably the best theme month so far. Just don't tell my other co-hosts I said that. Don't worry, they won't hear this. Definitely
Let's
not.
go!
And also, just to shout out Satsu for our episode. So I know you were talking about Marie's being the longest, but I just want to say, because I don't think we mentioned it on the episode, that you were recording an episode for my podcast that week. Well, it was supposed to be the week before, but I cancelled it for a number of reasons. And you kindly said, all right, let's get it done before we recorded our episode 3. And yeah, so we were talking for about 5 hours that night, weren't we, in total? So it was quite an epic session. So I just want to say thank you as well for being so accommodating, because you wanted to let me record my episode first. And yeah, I think that went on for about 2 hours as well. So the things we do for our podcast, right?
It still doesn't count as the longest episode. I'm just putting that out there.
No, but I think that's the longest I've ever spoken to anyone, even in real life, because we were speaking for about 5 hours.
I'm just trying to think of in terms of the raw audio before it was edited. And I've got to say, Marie, I think ours was like closer to 3 hours overall. All of you were closer to 3, but I think ours was over 3, I want to say, honestly. See, when I was looking through the audio and I was like, okay, I'll get it under 2 hours, and that wasn't happening.
You could have done that. You could have got it done in 25 minutes if you just cut out every time Garrus was mentioned. You could have cut it down to about 25 minutes.
See out there's the Garrus cut where it's just 5 hours long.
The Vicarian version.
Just a 5-hour cut of our passion for that amazing Turian. But see, without any further ado, will we all go in the elevator together one last time for this month?
Yes, let's do it. Although I have got one more thing to say.
Go for it.
Just want to shout out the artwork again. Absolutely.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
I
the
want to
artwork
get
is
it framed.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
I want to print it out and get it framed.
Yeah.
No, I really need to get it printed. See, in all seriousness, if Mark Meir or Jennifer Hale or any Mass Effect people are lingering about any Comic-Cons in the UK, I swear to God, I will print that out and get them to sign it.
Oh, yes, do it.
Oh,
Absolutely.
please do.
And of course, the artwork, as you're probably looking at as you listen to this episode on your favourite podcast provider, was done by an absolutely fantastic guy called Roz Carlo, and you can find him on Twitter /X. And he does absolutely fantastic work for the podcast. He has done, quite frankly, all of our theme months, whether that was the Simpsons month, Spider-Man, Lord of the Rings, etc. So honestly, huge shout out to him. But without any further ado, we're going to go into this elevator. It's going to be a long one, and to pass the time, we're going to listen to a few transmissions, and we will be right back with this very special quiz. Welcome to Chatsunami, a variety podcast that discusses topics from gaming and films to anime and general interests.
Previously on Chatsunami, we've analysed what makes a good horror game, conducted a retrospective on Pierce Brosnan's run as James Bond, and listened to us take deep dives into both the Sonic and Halo franchises.
Also, if you're an anime fan, then don't forget to check us out on our sub-series, Chatsunami, where we dive into the world of anime. So far, we've reviewed things like Death Note, Princess Mononoke, and the hit Beyblade series.
If that sounds like your cup of tea, then you can check us out on Spotify, iTunes, and all good podcast apps.
As always, stay safe.
Stay awesome, and most importantly,
Stay hydrated.
Howdy Beans, and welcome to my podcast trailer. Now you're probably wondering, who's this weird English fella talking to me about beans? Well, great question. I am the host of the Nerdstalgic podcast, Luke the Human. Nice to meet you, hope you're doing well, hope you're all good, as always. Now, you're probably wondering, what is the Nerdstalgic podcast? Well, another good question, let me answer that for you. The Nerdstalgic podcast is a variety podcast talking about all things nerdy and nostalgic, from books to video games to movies to TV shows. Basically, if it is nerdy, and even if it just has the smidge, the hint of nerdism to it, rest assured I will cover it. I'm on all platforms from Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and YouTube. All you gotta do is search Nerdstalgic Podcast and you'll find me. So I hope to see you there really soon.
Okay.
I was pressing A to skip. It wasn't skipping.
Exogeny has just found a new profile.
Oh, that was so good.
Wow, it's like being in the games. Wow.
I was going to carry on my foot now.
You should have done, man.
And we are back after that very, very long and totally not spliced together ride in the Mass Effect elevator. So, are you guys ready for the Mass Effect quiz of your lives?
No,
I was
absolutely
born
not.
ready.
Does third place get anything, by the way?
A pat in the back.
Okay, all right. Well, I've got that to look forward to. Okay.
But wait, what does first place get?
Dinner date with Garrus.
Luke, step aside.
It's fine. It's fine. You can take him. I'll be down in engineering with Tally.
Oh,
Whoa! Hey. Over my cold dead body.
Oh, we've lost it. We've lost it.
All right, I'll go down even further. I'll just sit with Jack and we talk about biotics.
We've now got Chatsunami's shortest ever episode. There we go. Cheers all.
Look, question 1, true or false? Right, okay. To go over the rules again, I apologise for that outburst.
Yeah, that was the real Satsu there, wasn't it? Yeah, come on.
So to go over the rules for everybody playing at home as well, please feel free to play along, listeners. We are going to be going through 5 questions per game, and we have a lovely bonus round at the end, so please feel free to stay for that. But as I said, I'm going to read out 5 statements, and you guys, that being, of course, Dan, Marie and Luke here, you're going to tell me whether or not these facts are true or false. Now, I know how psychology works, where someone says, oh, it's true, and then everybody else agrees. Don't listen to them if you think it's false, because some of them are true, some of them are false, as I said, and some of them are a little bit easier than others. So, to be honest, judging by you guys, you might get full marks, you might not get full marks. Either way, have fun, please. This isn't even a joke, this is a request, please, for the
It's
love of
not
God.
about the right answers, it's the friends you make along the way. I'll say true to everyone. Marie, you say false to everyone. Luke, say you don't know. One of us will win then.
And the winner is Luke. Okay, are you ready for the first one?
Yep.
So, question 1. Before it gained its iconic name in development, Mass Effect went by the name SFX or Science Fiction X. Now, is that true or false? What are you guys thinking?
False.
Oh, well, you've gone straight in for that. He sounds confident, Marie.
I don't know, because I'm leaning towards true, because games never, like when they're under the development, they never are under the name that they're meant to be.
Yeah, I say, because didn't Star Wars have that? Like the original name for Empire Strikes Back, was it Blue Horizon? Something under those lines?
Blue Moon? I don't know. Whatever
Something
the
like that.
Family Guy episode is, whatever the Family Guy parody episode is the original Star Wars title. Sorry, this is a very weird tangent.
It's still science fiction.
Oh, Blue Harvest, I think you're thinking.
That's Blue Harvest, yeah.
That's
Blue
the
Harvest, yeah.
It was only because you said Family Guy. What did you say the names were, Satsu?
SFX or Science Fiction X?
I'm going to say true as well, mainly because you've given 2 answers there, or one answer and explained it fully, which feels like that makes it true in my head.
I'm still going to stick with false, but I am leaning towards the true because these guys are so convincing.
Oh, you don't listen to us. Honestly, you don't want to listen to me. That'll lead you down a bad road.
I'm sticking to my guns.
Did you not listen to the brief at the beginning of this episode?
I'll lead you down a bad road. No, that is the only reason. I don't know it, but I think because it's got a qualification to it, that makes it sound more true. So you know how to get round me now.
Okay, are you ready for the second question?
Yeah.
You said that with such confidence, Luke.
Because I was so confident coming into it, but that first question really threw me. I'm like, I don't know anything about Mass Effect. I'm a fraud.
Your whole belief system has come crashing down.
Exactly. My whole world's gone crumbling.
This is exactly what I went through at work today, just saying.
No one's going to be able to take our Andromeda episode seriously.
No, I've lost all credibility.
And that starts with Dan getting sucked out an airlock.
Well, I was going to say, based on the skit, I don't think any of us took it seriously either.
Anyway, Question 2. Jenkins was supposed to be a permanent crew member whose death would have happened later in the game. However, due to Vermeer, the idea was scrapped.
Oh, I think I've heard this. I think I've heard this before, and I think it might be true. I think I heard that he wasn't meant to die at the beginning, but I might be just chatting shit at the moment.
Well, no, I've heard the meme. Like, people used to make fun back in the early days of like, oh, there's a secret way of keeping Jenkins alive, and that's how you defeat the Reapers. And I'm like, I don't know. But I don't know. Well done, Chatsu. This quiz so far, 2 questions in, I'm already questioning everything. Oh, God, I don't know.
He's an evil panda.
He is.
I want to say true, but I don't know if you're tricking us with the character. But I'm going to go for true because I'm with Maria. I think I've heard something along this line.
I'm going to go true. And the reason being is the fact of it feels, when you first talk to him till just the last minute before he dies, his dialogue feels like a character that should be there longer. You see what I'm trying to say? He doesn't feel like a character that's a one note as he is. When you first have a chat with him, it feels like, oh, I'm going to get to know this kid. He's going to be the rookie. I'm going to teach him a thing or two. And then but Carmine, he will eventually die. So I don't know. I'm going to go with true because you're so convincing.
I'm tempted to change my mind now.
Oh, look what she's done, Luke. She's convinced us. You see that, Luke? Oh, look at her.
Oh, this is the marketing speak.
Mind games.
Mind games.
I don't know, because generally the first character in a sci-fi always dies.
Well, he wasn't wearing red. Sorry.
Yeah,
Star
fair
Trek.
point. Oh, but all of us are going true, so I play devil's advocate. Okay, I'm sticking with my guns. I'm going true. Or is it false? No, I'm going true.
Okay, trues across the board. Number 3. During the development of the game, there was an Easter egg planned where if you shot at Sovereign during the Eden Prime mission, it would explode and the game would end. However, due to time constraints, the idea was scrapped.
Oh, see, I really want that to be true because I want to do that now. It's like, just imagine like you're shooting Sovereign and boo, confetti, well done.
That can't be right.
I'd like to think it's true, but I'm going to say false. Do you want to know why I'm saying false, Satsu? I heard your dog bark, and I think your dog knows you're lying. So that's on the basis that I think your dog's called you out there. I'm saying false.
Well, I don't want to do the horror movie trope, but that wasn't my dog.
Oh, wasn't it your dog? Whose dog was it then?
Probably one of mine.
Oh, because it's normally your dog, Satsu.
I was actually about to say, I think it's the dogs outside my window.
Well, either way,
Phantom dogs.
it's like Legion. It's like a hive mind there. They've called it out. So, yeah, I'm still sticking with false. The dogs know best.
Yeah, I'm going to go false. It's something I wish was true, and I would love to try it, but no, I don't think it's real.
Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, no, to put all that work in just to end it like that, I don't think so. And that would take a lot of coding. It sounds like a Satsu lie. I'm also going to go with false. If we're going to fail, we're going to fail together, guys.
Yay!
Okay, false is across the board, and listeners are going to be so confused when I edit out those dog barking noises.
Oh, yeah, please don't.
Oh.
Dan just lost it. It was one blue Smurf joke too much.
Have I been indoctrinated?
The elusive Dan strikes again. Okay, question 4. Mass Effect 1 was not the first piece of Mass Effect media to be released.
Oh, yeah, I think I once again, I've heard this before. I think that's true. I'm pretty sure I've heard this before. That wasn't the first one.
No, I think it's true as well. Ooh, I think the book came first. Yeah, I think the prequel novel came first and then the game.
I don't think it was a book, but I do think something came first.
It wasn't the art book, was it? Because usually they release the art book before they release the game.
I don't know.
Well, most developers do.
Or maybe
anyway.
was it a short story? I'm not sure.
That's the thing. It could be like a little novella or a little comic, but I don't know.
The graphic novels for the first Contact War, I think they came out during Mass Effect 2. It's not them.
Well, I think the novels did all come out. I think everything and the comics all came out after. But I am wondering whether there was... It depends how sneaky Satsu's been. If we're saying... Did you say media? It could be like a 5-page storyboard or something that got released. Or we're saying if... Well, Maria and I, we said that the game was called Special Effects or whatever at the start, had a code name. Maybe there was something like a playable version of or a demo under that name or something.
I might be chatting shit right now, but maybe it was like a game within a game that it appeared somewhere else. I might be, pulling that right out of my ass, but I feel like there is something there.
Well, it wasn't a prior game of BioWare's because there was no mention of anything to do with Mass Effect in Dragon Age.
I'm going to say false, right? It feels like it should be a true answer, but I can't back up the reason why I would be saying true other than saying true. So I'm going to have to stick to my guns and say it was false just on that basis that I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go false for the same
No,
reasons
if
of I'm so
if you want to say
indecisive.
true, it's true, but I think the answer is true, but I just don't know why it is. So
So 2 falses and a true then?
Yeah, I'm sticking to my guns here.
And the final question of this round. The Krogan were nearly written out of the game for being too problematic to program, as the skeleton for their model kept popping out of their backs whenever they moved. As a result, this is why their armor is so bulky.
Oh, this might be true because I did read that because Mass Effect came out quite a long time ago, that when it came to like programming, they did have to use humanoid skeletons for the aliens because that was the only available technology back in the day. So that's why all the aliens do look kind of humanoid, because they had to build them on human skeletons. So that could be true. Or is he using an actual fact to trick us? Because they definitely developed them on human skeletons. I know that's a fact.
See, I do apologize. All I've got stuck in my head now is just I'm walking around with Rex and his skeleton just pops out. I'm like, Rex, no. And he's like, it's fine, Shepard.
Shepard.
It's a flesh wound.
I mean, but because we don't see them outside of their armor ever, except for like in 3, I think we see a Krogan outside their armor, but we'd never see one in 1.
See, I'm looking at my answers, and if I say false, which I think it is, I'll have 3 in a row. So I'm doing that thing where I'm thinking that can't be right, can it?
True, false.
What I've got in my head is, again, is this a true fact, but it's not the Krogan, and you've thrown us off by saying Krogan.
But it has to be the Krogan, unless it's the Volus.
But I don't get why the Krogan, because the Krogan is still, you could draw them. I don't get.
See, no, I don't think it'd be the Volus, because they are just, they're just tiny humans, really.
Tiny fat humans.
Basically, yeah.
They're babies.
Yeah. Wouldn't be the Solarians, because the Solarians are just elongated humans.
I'm going false. I don't know why. Did you say it's because the skeletons kept popping out?
Yeah, well, when I say skeletons, I mean in the...
Like the model.
Yeah, like the model.
I don't get why that would happen just on the Krogan, so I'm saying false.
Oh, well, I would imagine it'd be an issue for the Elcor as well.
Yeah.
Because, again, humans don't bend that way.
Yeah, again, well, yeah, but they don't really move, do they?
Yeah, I don't think the Elcor were designed on humanoid skeletons. I think it's just the main ones, which is why we never see an Elcor fight. Would have been cool.
I would love to see an Elcor
Yeah,
fight.
Elcors are my spirit animal. I love them so much.
Curtis Lee. No, I'm going to go false, because from breaking down all the other aliens, I'm going to say false because it doesn't make sense.
Okay, Marie, what are you going for?
I'm going against the boys here. I'm going true.
And by that klaxon sound that definitely wasn't edited, that signifies the end of the first round. So, are you ready for the answers?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, question 1. I asked you if Mass Effect went by the name SFX/Science Fiction X, and surprisingly, it is true.
Woohoo!
Oh.
I'm sorry, look.
It's fine. I've lost all credibility. I'll leave now.
Yeah, apparently it was... I don't know if they were going to go for the name fully. It was the development name that they had initially. Exactly like what you said, Luke, about Blue Harvest. Or was it you, Marie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was supposed to be under that name, but I don't know whether they would have gone ahead and called it Science Fiction X, but I'm going to be honest, SFX would have been a terrible name.
Yeah, it's really cheesy as well. It's not one of those that you take seriously. With Mass Effect, it's like, whoa, that's interesting. Where science that way. I can't even say it because I can't remember it. It's just one of those that's like so forgetful. You're like, I ain't going to play that. It sounds cheap.
So question 2 about Jenkins supposedly being a permanent crew member. That is, as far as I know, false.
Fuck.
But thank you, Marie, for convincing everybody.
You know what? I should have changed my answer. I should have done that. That would have been such a bitching move.
She threw out the Uno card.
Exactly. Do an Uno reverse.
You just take one for the team, Mano. So, question 3. This is such a fascinating one, by the way. Question 3, you all said false for this one, and this is the one about shooting Sovereign at the beginning of Eden Prime, and that was cut. Apparently, that was true.
I knew I was going to change it. I didn't want to say anything right at the last second.
So, the idea was, I don't know if it was like if you did a New Game Plus or something, that you would have been able to have shot Sovereign and they would have blown up, because there are mods and things that have put it back. I tried this in one of my lunch breaks. I literally ran through. I didn't even talk to Jenkins. I was like, no time for a burial, Jenkins. I gotta find this Easter egg.
You were always meant to die anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it does not work. I shot it with every single gun. Doesn't work. And see if I'm proven wrong with that. Please, someone call me out for it. For the fourth answer, Mass Effect 1 was not the first piece of Mass Effect media to be released. It is true.
Ooh.
Fuck yeah.
Oh.
So, you were right, Luke. When you said about
I
a
feel I
book,
was.
it was Mass
Yeah.
Effect Revelations, which came out in May the 1st, 2007.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until November, I want to say, that the game itself came out. So I actually never knew that. I genuinely thought the game was first and then the books came after it. Seems like a weird flip.
Yeah, it does happen sometimes. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, that one had a tie novel that came up before it. I think Gears of War was the same as well. Asphalt Fields, that came out. And that's what made me think it's true. But then I was just like, no, because I wasn't, so I was unsure. I had to go false, but damn it.
And the final question about spooky Krogan skeletons dancing all around, that is indeed false.
Oh, fuck.
I got one.
Unfortunately, there were no spooky Krogan skeletons, which is a shame, but, well, on the other hand, it's not a shame because I wouldn't want to look at a Krogan skeleton, but I did giggle and chuckle when I was writing that one. I was like, can you imagine? As you said, Luke.
Shepherd.
You know how much I love the game, but we can all admit it's as buggy as fuck. Like it has some really cursed elements, so that's why I believed it. But then again, if that was the case, the developers probably would have never fixed it.
Very true.
Sorry, I know developers work really hard. It's just playing through Legendary, I was just like, how the fuck did they not fix these bugs?
My face is tired.
I'll talk about this, sorry, briefly, and it's on Andromeda, ironically, not the Legendary Edition, but Josh Scar, Talkie Smacks, sent me, and I'll have to see if I can get it for when this goes out, from Andromeda, a bug of a character taking a drink, but they're a human character, pouring it into their ear instead of taking it. If you still got it, I'll get him to send me the clip and I'll send it out, but it's the funniest thing you'll see.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me. Andromeda's.
Well, we're not going there. We're not going there, Marie.
Bugs. Like, it's just, yeah.
Okay, are you ready for the second round of this quiz?
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
sure. Sitting pretty at 2 out of 5.
Neck and neck with you, Marie, neck and neck.
So this time we are indeed going to go on to the lovely world of Mass Effect 2.
Okay, I really feel like if I fail this section, I would have to leave.
Just podcast exile. Just
Exactly. Exile me to Mass Effect Andromeda. That's the punishment.
your face will be eternally tired.
Drink tea through your ear.
You'll be with the Quarians somewhere.
So, question 1. The only reason Garrus is a romance option is because the fans demanded it.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
true.
that makes sense.
Hands down, that's true. I ain't even gotta give a reason. We all know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who wouldn't want to boink him? I mean,
I think the Krogans scene as the Turians almost wiped them out. Yeah.
Them and their skeletons
Yeah.
popping out. The lore we are building tonight, honestly.
It's just a flesh wound.
it's okay. We can have a new version of the First Contact 4.
Yeah, I've got a feeling it's true. I'm sure I read somewhere or heard something that the developers didn't expect Garrus to be that liked, or were quite amazed at how liked he was as a character, I think.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the second question?
Yep.
Morden, and apologies, Dan, I know it's too soon.
He just wanted to do some research on seashells.
Don't make us cry.
Satsu, this is mean.
Well, it's about to get a whole lot meaner.
When he was brutally exploded at the top of the...
Too soon. Too soon.
Always too soon. Someone else might have gotten
my boy.
it wrong.
You're my boy.
Go ahead, Satsu.
Do you regret your choice of getting us on for this, Satsu?
No, not at all. No, this is great content. Trauma for the podcast. So, question 2. Morden was horribly exploded. No, I'm only kidding.
Had to be him.
Right, question 2 for serious. Morden is the only character to change voice actors between Mass Effect 2 and 3.
That's a good one.
That is great because I think it's total lies, but at the same stage, I'm like,
Yeah, I'm going to say false. I should have let you two go first.
No, I agree because I equally love that man. I have a bust of him on my desk, and I feel like I would notice if his voice changed even the slightest. So I'm going to go false.
Marie, what are you saying?
Yeah, I'm the same. I mean, I obviously don't pay attention to him as much as I do a certain other character, but I think I would have noticed. Yeah, I don't think that's true. I think that's false.
Yeah, and I'm going to say false, not because because I know for absolute 100% that his voice didn't change, but you said only, didn't you? The only character. And I've picked up on that. So I think maybe some other characters did. And so if there was, there'd be more than one. Even if it was him, there'd be more than one. So I'm saying false purely on that basis. I'm not having any logic to this other than picking up on the specific words you're saying.
You don't trust me after the last round.
No. So I'm saying false, yeah, for that reason.
Okay, false is across the board. Question 3. Mass Effect 2 was supposed to be the finale of the series, thus the suicide run level at the end. However, EA saw how lucrative the series had become and demanded it to be turned into a trilogy.
I mean, that'd be an EA thing, right?
I was about to say they wouldn't end a series with killing everyone, but then they literally did that in 3.
I think it's false.
I think it always was meant to be a trilogy. Yeah.
I'm going to go false as well. Because even though you get given the option to kill everybody and get yourself killed at the same stage, I feel like EA being EA, they want to squeeze as much money out of this franchise as they could. So it was just like, we're doing 3 games and then a prequel. I think false. I think it was always planned to be 3 games.
I would say that maybe they didn't plan it for 3 when they released the first one, but I reckon on the success of the first that they definitely wanted it to be a trilogy. So if that decision was made, it would have been after 1, not 2, I think.
Yeah.
Falses across the board again. Honestly, you guys are so distrusting of me.
Well, no, that one would make sense as well. Sorry, just add in, because if I remember correctly, when they made Mass Effect 1, they were under partnership with Microsoft Studios. And then for Mass Effect 2, they went off to join EA. And I feel like for the success of it, EA probably could have gone, you know what, let's do a 3rd game as well, just to get, because we can see how much of a money pig this possibly can be. So yeah, it's plausible.
Let's rob those nerds dry.
Basically, and they did with the body pillows.
I still don't have one.
And on that note, question 4. So, question 4. There were plans for the Vermeer survivor to be a squad mate in 2, but due to the already bloated roll call of characters, this was promptly shelved.
Oh,
Sounds plausible.
It sounds plausible.
That's
you
plausible.
kind of just leave Caden behind, and I'm saying Caden because that's the only that's the only Vermeer survivor worth talking about. And it always struck me a bit weird, especially if you do the romance option, and then he's just like, "I love you, but fuck off," and just leaves. Although it's because I didn't romance him this time around when I played my last playthrough, and he's so much more harsh if you romance him. He's less of a dick if you don't romance him, which is just toxic masculinity, like that.
That's why you should have left him on Vermeer.
See, now I leave Ash.
Yeah, you leave the spacist.
Yes.
Let's not stop. I've had this argument with Satsu. They're all spacist to some way. They're all bad people.
But everyone comes around.
Yeah, because,
Sorry, I'm going off track here. Oh, you were.
What was the question again?
Why should you leave but Caden on Vermeer, I think the question was.
True or false?
The real Vermeer survivor is Caden. Ashley can go boom.
I'm saying true. Only on the basis that neither character really, I don't think, either character has a big part. Whoever you romance doesn't tend to be in the second game, does it?
Yeah.
For example, even Liara doesn't. It just feels like, maybe Luke, as you said, they go to EA and it's like, we want to make this a much bigger thing. Screw whoever was in the first game almost.
This is a difficult one. I want to say true because it does sound incredibly plausible if we're going off sort of what happened, what we said in the last question. But also I'm on the side of false because I feel like when you meet either Ashley or Caden on Horizon, that moment is very much the fact of, I trusted you, you're with our enemy, what you're doing and why. And I feel like that moment is a very poignant moment for us players as a character being like, oh shit, am I the bad guy?
No.
And it gets you to question Cerberus probably
people
more
have
than
been
some people
collected.
would. Well, no, I completely agree with you. But again, it's actually to question the fact of you question Cerberus. And that's why I think it works better if they don't become a companion. As you know, Mass Effect 2, we had 12 companions. I think we had more than enough. Oh, God, I'm going false.
There's more boinking options, right? For Shepard, that's what it is ultimately.
Oh, but yeah, basically. We'll bang, okay?
I just want to point out, Garrus followed her without a second thought. Anyway, that's why he's the GOAT.
He was always more interested in calibrations, though, just saying.
Not later
we don't know what
on.
he was calibrating.
So what are you thinking, Marie?
Oh, I don't know, because I was leaning towards true, but then Luke's argument was actually it kind of shifted my mind, because it is already a pretty full-on cast.
I think you should go for false, because then I'll be the only one that gets the point for it being true. Do you like that, Satsu?
I've played Among Us with Dan. I wouldn't trust him.
Have we all agreed until this point? I'm changing my answer. I'm going false.
Ooh.
Okay.
If I fail, Luke, I'm blaming you.
Fine.
Question 5, the final one for Mass Effect 2. After hearing about the meme surrounding the reporter being punched, there had been similar plans to have this option for Udina when you first meet him again in the Presidium. However, lead developer Casey Hudson found that it may have been too mean-spirited and decided against it.
Oh, see, no, I really want to punch Udina. Every
Yeah.
time I see him,
On
even in the
game one,
first
yeah.
game, he's done nothing wrong, but I just want to, you know what I mean? Like, that's for the future.
You do get to shoot him later, which is very satisfactory.
Yeah, I love that part in your review of Mass Effect 3. It was like, as soon as I get Renegade option for Udina, I'm taking it. I'm like, we're on the same level, Dan. To be honest, I want to say true because you had so much detail in your question. It wasn't just like a simple question. So I want to say true because I think who doesn't want to hit Udina? I'm going with true.
It is very satisfying when Anderson punches him in one, but I don't think it's that much of a meme as the reporter, which, by the way, Satsu has never done. No, you can't play Mass Effect without punching the reporter. Like, I play Paragon and I still punch the fucking reporter. It's just part of the game.
Everybody does it once.
Satsu didn't!
I didn't. I actually didn't.
But what, you're doing Renegade Run now. You haven't done that yet?
I got trapped in a bubble with an Asari consort, okay? I have been busy. Yeah, fun times in the bubble. Anyway, what are you thinking, Marie?
Oh, I think it's... my gut is saying false. I'm saying false. I think Satsu is being sneaky on this one.
Me? Sneaky? Ugh, don't be silly.
When 2 came out, memes weren't even a thing.
I've held off because that's what I was going to say. The only thing about it was about it being a meme. I wasn't sure if they'd have had that when they were making it. Because I even think they might have been making 3 at the time of 2. I don't know.
No, they didn't because it was a different writer.
It was 2010, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
but you know, these things are always in production. But it's the meme thing that has made me, I'm going false solely on that.
Final answers?
False for me, yeah.
False.
Yeah.
Luke, you're going true, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah, sorry. He had me at the meme. I was like, he's got a point, but now I'm going true. I'm thinking back to when I was in school in 2010. I'm like, they must have. Yes, I'm sure I saw some sort of a proto meme.
Proto meme?
The Genesis meme, you know, I remember seeing something like that.
I mean, we had the S. I feel like that was a bit of a meme. The cool S. All right, Satsu, put us out of our misery.
And, of course, by that Reaper klaxon you can hear in the background, cough cough, totally not editing it in, that is indeed the end of the second round. So, question 1. The only reason Garrus is a romance option is because fans demanded it. You all said true. Yeah, it's true.
Oh, yeah.
I had to throw an easy one in there. I apologise, but I had to throw one in. Second one, Morden is the only character to change voice actors between Mass Effect 2 and 3. Now, as far as I know, he is the only one, but yeah, that was true, apparently.
Ooh.
Wait, what?
Yeah, apparently he changed voice actors between 2 and 3.
Bloody hell, well, whoever did that did a fantastic job.
It's not on IMDb.
According to my handy-dandy sources here, in Mass Effect 2, they were voiced by Michael Beattie, and they were replaced by William Sellers for 3.
There you go.
Wow.
I honestly did not realise that.
I'm Googling this. I'm not believing you.
Yeah, no, go for it.
Going up against the panda lawyer.
Yeah. So as you do that, number 3, talking about it being the finale of the series, you're all right. It was false. As far as I know, it has always been intended to be a trilogy. So yeah, full marks there. Number 4, talking about the plans for the Vermeer survivor to be a permanent squad mate. That was false.
Oh.
Yeah. So as far as I know, there was no plans, and I'm so glad because there's like 12 or 13 characters that you get in that game.
Oh, hold on. Oh, I'll stick with it. I think I understood the question, right? Did you say they were going to be part of it and they were written out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that was false, but I'm going to stick I meant false, but I'm going to stick my answer true.
Apologies.
Damn it. No, it's not your fault. It's my fault.
I would have liked to think what Ashley would have been like on that ship full of 12 different aliens. She would have been like,
Oh, this will come back to haunt me now. This answer. Damn it.
It's looking very Vermeer in here, isn't it?
By the way, according to Reddit, Satsu's right.
Like there was any doubt.
Oh, thank God, because I always worry about that in these quizzes. I'm like, am I right? I swear I'm right.
It's a danger of including me in this, you know. I research and fact check everything.
So, question 5 about the memes surrounding Udina. It is false. You're right.
Oh, yeah.
I
4
know.
out of 5, bitches.
Not bad, not bad. So, yes, indeed, as far as I know, there were no plans to punch Udina, but if there was, that would have been hilarious. And yeah, that takes us on to the third round. And before we jump in, we are going to listen to some handy-dandy ads, and we will be right back once again after we go down this second elevator.
Hello, we are Two Girls, One Reusable Cup, a podcast all about living a low-waste lifestyle in your 20s, hosted by Beth and Marie. We are just your average consumer trying to make the best decisions for people and planet. And we mess up. A lot.
And the next morning had a massive hangover and I was like, where's my reusable straw? No, my prized possession.
You know, toothpaste is like one of the jumping off points of this podcast. And it also was one of the jumping off points of my very large dentist bill.
And they put it in just standard plastic cup with a plastic lid. But don't worry, folks, they put a paper straw in it, which I think I slurped twice and then it disintegrated.
Wait, you've never learned how to ride a bike?
So kudos to my dad, he tried to teach me and I was just a pain. I love how unforgiving you are of the fact that this was 1,800 meters above sea level. But where was my quiche?
Grab a cup of tea, sit down with us, and come and join the Sustainable Support Group.
Fancy taking a humorous trip down a random topic each week? You do? Well, you're in luck. Casting Views, presented by me, Dan, and a host of guests, bring you just that. With topics from the world of entertainment, science, sport, and everyday life, there's bound to be a topic that's going to inform and amuse. Catch Casting Views every Sunday on all listening platforms now.
And we are back. Are you guys ready for Mass Effect 3?
Yep.
Yeah, not to sound too cocky, right? But I'm in the lead, aren't I?
Wow.
By a point, and only because I absolutely right royally, you've got a bleep machine now. Can you bleep this next word? Beep it out. Beeped it up. Yeah. Sorry, I'm going off on one now. You know that meme with that guy? It's from a program. He's just sitting on that swing alone, staring out into the distance.
From Narcos.
That's going to be me the rest of this week now. You've spoilt my bank holiday weekend now, Satsu. Thank you.
I'm glad to hear it.
Don't worry. Watch me crash and burn like the first Normandy in this round.
I will crawl it on back in Andromeda. You see, you watch.
Do you know what I love about this? I love how in the very first round, Luke was saying, oh, I'll have to, exile myself if I get this wrong. Marie said the same for the second one. Now we're on the third one. I think Dan's just like, you know what? I don't care if people know that I know a lot about Mass Effect 3 or not.
Oh, let's hear it, Satsu. Let's hear it.
So, question 1. In one of BioWare's weirdest promotional stunts for the game, a few local gyms in Toronto had the Vega Challenge, where gym members were challenged. Bear with me here. Where gym members were challenged to beat the pull-up record that Vega demonstrates in the game. Those who did it would receive a free copy of the game for a limited time.
I'm saying this is true. This sounds like a proper advertising stunt.
It does, because EA and EA will do anything.
However,
oh God,
You're like the Columbo of this.
I don't recall seeing it, and I've done a couple of episodes on unusual marketing stunts for games, and I don't recall seeing this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to now say false on that.
Yeah, and why would it be with Vega? He's such a shit character and no one knows who he is.
But he's so dude,
but also because he was a new character.
He's so dude, bro, and macho, and that feels like a really good challenge if it was real, but I don't think it is.
Let's face it, coming from a group of pale, pasty, skinny nerds, the last place to promote Mass Effect would be in a gym.
Yeah.
That's not their target demographic.
Satsu, I think you need your panda lawyer just to say that she doesn't speak on behalf of Chatsunami with that last statement.
And I'm only pale because I'm ginger.
What I was going to say was, you can't see it because this is audio only, but behind, the microphones were all swole as hell, and, well, like, that Chad meme?
Oh, yeah.
It's just true Mass Effect fans here.
I thought you were going to say you had your producer on the other headphones saying, cut the episode now, cut it.
Oh, no, I cut the line for that a while ago. Yeah.
You cut the audio 40 minutes ago.
Yeah. I'm going to deal with that later. Don't worry.
It's so ridiculous ridiculous that I'm leaning towards true, but then again, Satsu is a very imaginative person. I'm going to go false as well. As someone who works in marketing, that does not sound like a smart move.
Get swole like Vega.
All I was going to say, have you not listened to Luke's episode in Paragon Lost?
No, he's a lot better written in the movie, and in the game, I just can't stand him. But I love Freddie Prinze, but yeah, they made him as a dude bro in the game, and yeah.
Okay, so you're all going for false for that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question 2. There was a planned DLC where Shepard would be Blasto's bodyguard and get into hijinks around the Citadel. However, it was cancelled due to time restrictions, and Blasto was relegated to a cameo in the Citadel DLC instead.
I so want this to be true.
Oh God. I don't know, because the Citadel DLC is quite goofy. So then maybe they're thinking, oh, we have too many goofy things in this game that will make you want to rip your heart out. So, probably. That sounds like it's true.
They did cut a lot out of Mass Effect 3, and then he added it in later, as we've spoken about. I'm going to do what Dan does, where he's breaking it down the question. I would have said true, but because you said he was regulated to the DLC, then that's why I'm a bit sort of leading towards false, because obviously the whole point of Mass Effect 3 is there's no point of messing around. There's a war on, you've got to quickly get resources, stuff like that. So it wouldn't have made sense if it's like, oh, you've just gone to one Paladin's moon, but now you've got to help a fishman.
Hey, it's a Hanar. Come on.
A Hanar, But you know what I mean?
You're
like,
sounding very much like Ashley right now.
I know. Damn it. But it's what, you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't have made sense. It would have been a very sort of left wind of a character's just died or something really sad has happened, and now you've got Blasto and you've got to protect him. It would feel really out of left field. So yeah, I'm going to go false, because even though I would love that to be the case, I don't think it would have worked in the main game. So I'm going false.
Oh, I mean, that was an excellent point, but I'm still going for true, just because excellent point from Luke. But then again, Mass Effect 3 is not known for their writing. So
yeah, for
their logical writing, because like there's some amazing moments, and then there's some, the rip your hair out of your head moments. So I feel like they would throw about this idea.
So you going true?
Yes. And Dan, you've been uncharacteristically quiet.
I just wanted your answer, because I need one answer different to yours at least, because you're a point ahead. So I was just waiting for the first answer. This absolutely sounds plausible, but I think it's false. I just don't think they would have done. The game was done. The Citadel DLC was only done as fan service afterwards to give people a bit of a happier send off than the original game had.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say false on 2 reasons. One, to get a different answer to Marie, but also that. Yeah, as true as it could sound, and you could turn around and say it's absolutely true. I think on the basis that the game was done and Citadel, but then could they have put him in because they... No, false. Final answer.
Can I just say, I took a quiz today that would have determined if I would have gotten fired or not, and this is still the most stressful moment of my day.
Okay, question 3. In the finale of Mass Effect 3, there was supposed to be a boss fight with the Elusive Man, but this was ultimately scrapped.
Again, another one that could be true.
Yeah, but we already got the pony dude, man bun dude.
I think it's false. I think the Elusive Man was just a bit part in the finale. I don't...
What could he do? Unless they had like a similar situation to Saren, where something like the Reaper crawls out of him, and then they go, oh no, that's too similar. Because already it's plot-wise very similar. Like, you defeat the Elusive Man the same way you defeat Saren. You just get him to shoot himself.
See, I'd never noticed that before, but now you mentioned it, I was like, yeah, I've just realised.
You haven't? Oh.
They did it again.
Sorry to ruin a little bit of that part of the game for you. Yeah, I only noticed it when I played them all back to back last month, and I was just like, that's the same fucking ending.
Because it is, if you do the Paragon or Renegade options, you can get him to either change his mind or kill himself, and it's like, damn, you just blew my mind. Like, I thought they were clever with that ending, but apparently not. I'm going to go true, because I feel like I've heard something under the lines of this was planned. But at the same stage, Dan made a really good point in his Mass Effect 3 review when he said he would have happily have had Mass Effect end at that point where you got Anderson and Shepard together. And I was actually thinking about it. I was like, you know what? That would have been the best ending. Not that I want it to end, but if it had to end, that would have been like the best way to end it. And then having a fight before that wouldn't have made sense. So I'm going to go true that it was probably originally planned, but they went with the Star Child.
Oh God, I'm torn between 2 things. Oh God. Okay, I'm going to go false.
My gut is false, but then I've got 3 falses in a row, but that's the way the cookie crumbles.
This isn't school, Dan.
Yeah.
You're okay. You're in a safe place.
Again, not that any of your questions I think I've heard, but I don't recall this. I don't think it would make sense to have the elusive man and then boss. Yeah, just false. Yeah.
Question 4. The reason Femshep has red hair is because of a fan-voted poll. Originally, she was voted to be blonde.
Oh.
That feels good. That's a good one.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
Because Femshep was only ever on the cover of Mass Effect 3. Because once again, they completely dismissed that option. And then only in 3, you could have the option of buying the game with Femshep on it or Maleshep. And that's the first time you actually saw the canon version of Femshep.
I think it was a reverse sleeve, that what they did.
Yes!
You can buy the copy, but you could change this.
It was. You're completely right. And by the way, it is always Femshep. She is the canon shepherd. Anyway, let's move on.
No, I actually kind of agree with you now. After playing through Mass Effect 3 as Femshep, I actually think she's the better version, but again...
It's also the better voice actor. The voice acting for Femshep is off the charts.
I've got in my head it's true. Something rings a bell about that character. Yeah.
Same.
Or that model.
Because I know a lot of people did, and I know this bit for a fact, a lot of people did complain that there was enough Femshep representation. That's why they did a reverse sleeve to kind of appease fans who wanted a female shepherd on the cover. And I remember that was an argument. It was on IGN or one of the sort of things. So I'm really inclined to be like EA or even BioWare to be like, you know what, if we're going to go that far, maybe we should ask people what colour hair should be. Maybe. I'm going to go true.
So we're all going true then?
Yeah.
Interesting.
What you can't see at the moment is that I'm currently pacing back and forth.
Just a sweat pouring off. Okay, final question of the round. And Dan, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So get your tissues ready here. There is actually a way to keep Morden alive during the Priority to Chanka mission.
Oh yeah, that's true. Sorry.
Hold on, trying to take all that in. You telling me all this time I've let him kill himself and I could have saved him?
Yeah, you're a monster, Luke.
Apparently so. I'm getting Tachanka flashbacks.
I don't know how to tell you this, Luke. We've all been keeping him alive this whole time.
Even Dan knew.
I think I know this, yeah, so...
Sorry, I think I just spoiled the answer there for everyone.
Do you want to give your answer, Luke?
I'm just distraught.
Look, I think I know this. I think it's true, but I think to do it, I think a couple of others have to die, and I think it might be Rex as well. And so in my version of the game, it's just, well, it's the right, well, not the right thing, but it's a heroic thing for Morden to do. Don't, you're making me go already here.
Don't worry, you'll get some seashells at the end of this episode. It's fine.
I think it is true. I think it is true.
What do you think, Luke?
Part of me wants to say false because of all this time me letting my best friend die. I'm going to get emotional now myself.
What have we done, Luke? What have we done?
What? He just wanted to look at shells.
It had to be him, though. Somebody else would have got it wrong.
Did. I was going to get it wrong. Damn it.
Morden, I'm sorry.
Forgive me, Morden. I'm flummoxed. After this, I'm going to start Googling, like, is it true? I'm going to go true because it must be. If you two are saying it, it must be. But at the same stage as the fact that you're in the lead. Okay, I'll go true, but I still feel bad because of like just finding out that I could have saved him and I didn't.
And once again, by that sound at the end, of course, we have reached the end of the round. So, question 1 about the Vega challenge. You are all right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mass Effect fans are indeed a bunch of pasty nerds.
I'm really sorry. I did not mean to insult us. I'm one of you. I am one of you.
She said it with confidence, so it's okay.
She said with confidence and rippling muscles, it's like, I am one of you, I swear.
I get out of breath by just going up the stairs.
So that first one, definitely false. Number 2, about the Blasto Bodyguard DLC. Yeah, that is false, apparently.
Fuck!
But
God,
yeah, see, in all seriousness though, I genuinely wish that was true.
Oh, yeah, I would love to do it, but...
Oh, that was the one I'll converse to Marie as well, right? That was the second reason to get to that point, wasn't it, I think?
Oh, playing the long game. So, question 3, about the fight with the elusive man. Apparently that was true.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Luke's clawing it back. Look at this.
Yeah. I think they thought that there was a lot of parallels between Saren's fight and the elusive man, so they didn't want to have the same thing where you convince him to shoot himself in the face and then fight him after it, and they just thought that was a bit too...
It wouldn't have worked, I don't think.
No. You kill him with logic, not with bullets.
A lot of column A and B here, but yeah.
Yeah.
So number 4, and this was a really interesting one about FemShep being a redhead because of a fan-voted poll. This is actually true.
Yeah, I knew it.
Hey.
So what I didn't realise, and again, it was so fascinating, there was such an outrage about this because initially people voted them as being blonde, and then there was a huge backlash from, I can't remember who it was, but there was a particular game journalist who spoke out against it, and there was quite a few saying that it was all about the male gaze and things like that, like barbifying FemShep essentially. So then they put out the poll again, and that's the reason why she has it for her default look.
Because let's face it, based on everything else that appears in the game, her having blonde hair is probably not the worst thing that they did, right?
No.
But to be honest, I do get the argument there.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely.
Not to climb on my feminist high horse here, but also redheads are far more badass.
Thank you. But it always made sense to me because obviously I always, being ginger, whenever you guys are probably the same. When you play a role-playing game, you always try to model the character to kind of look like you.
Oh, absolutely not.
I like my character to have hair, Luke.
Oh, sorry. Well, my characters always have ginger hair. So when I saw FemShep with ginger hair, it just made sense. I heard about the controversy later on. But yeah, I see where they're coming from. But the same stage is the fact of it's a game character. If you play the game, you know there's far things worse, as you say, than somebody what colour hair they've got.
And I think you covered it, Marie, in yours, like the Miranda scene and things like that. And Jack's outfit as well. It's,
yeah.
But anyway, this isn't that episode. You covered all that brilliantly.
Yeah, and I'm just putting it out there in case any casting directors are listening. I'm willing to dye my hair red. Although a purple-haired FemShep sounds badass too.
True.
Purple hair, green eyes.
Exactly. I think that would be an awesome look. I'm willing to do my own stunts.
Last but not least, question 5. Are you ready for this answer?
I've forgotten the question again already.
So...
Seashells, Dan. Seashells.
Oh, God, that's why I put it out of my mind.
You just repressed
the wound.
Do we have to go through this again? Sorry.
Don't worry, this is the last Morden... Wait, hold on, let me check. Yeah, that's the last Morden question. And yeah, it is true.
Yep.
So the reason behind this, and Dan, you touched on it briefly as well, if you let Rex die in the first one, I want to say, if you kill him in Vermeer, then his brother or brother from another Krogan, Reeve, he takes over the clan and he can convince Morden to pretend that he's cured the genophage.
And Eve needs to die as well.
Yeah.
Too much damage.
Yeah,
it's not worth it.
Can I just say before we move on that he was a very model of a scientist Solarian?
He was indeed.
My thoughts go with you, Morden.
Whichever voice actor's listening to this.
Yeah,
because apparently there was more than one of you.
Yeah, I mean, it could be alive out there in one voice actor or another.
Have I told you guys what is my dream casting for Morden for the Mass Effect TV series?
Go on.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Oh, yeah, I could kind of see that.
Yeah, moving on, Satsu.
Yeah.
Dan is not convinced.
Yeah, moving on quickly. We are at the penultimate set of questions. I cannot wait.
There's more. I saw that it was 15. Now I saw that was it. I was well chuffed.
Well, would you believe you're tied for first place?
Yeah, I know. That's why I thought.
Yeah. That's why I had to create 5 extra questions in case this happened.
Pressure's on.
Here is the Mass Effect Andromeda of
Okay, this is not fair.
This is where Luke overtakes us now, Marie.
Yeah, I've never could put myself through Andromeda.
Everybody has to do it once. It's like, I was going to say it's like slapping the photographer, and I was like, no, Satsu didn't do it.
Marie, let's just say we don't acknowledge this round, just like we don't acknowledge Andromeda, right?
Ooh.
No, just have it for everyone listening. I do like Andromeda. I've just only ever played it twice. Other than that's all.
And I couldn't do it. I'm sorry.
Can't wait till I edit it so it sounds like Dan says, I hate Andromeda. Andromeda fans are nerds.
Satsu.
Okay, question 1. Ryder was initially supposed to be a relative of Shepard during the early stages of planning, but this was scrapped due to the design team wanting to move away from the Shepard storyline.
Oh, I feel like everybody's waiting for me to do an answer.
No, I'm going false. Only because Andromeda obviously came out after, but there's no reference to his family other than his parents. I think if you pick one of the backgrounds, I honestly think that they wouldn't do that as well. I think they'd want it different. different. So I think I'm going false.
Yeah, I don't know how you'd fit it in the story, unless it was like in a bit of dialogue or a codex. Be like, oh, by the way, I'm related to a war hero, Shepard. He died, killed by Geth or whatever. I don't know where you'd fit that into the story. And again, it'd leave more questions and answers, and that's all that Andromeda
but
is,
even
really.
like in 3, they keep talking about, do you have family on Earth? Do you have relatives here or there? And Shepard never says anything. I think it depends on the background. And to me, it felt like that game was supposed to be a different chapter.
Yeah. I guess if you think of it on the side of what EA, because EA being EA, they'd want to capitalize on sort of the success of Mass Effect 3, and obviously Mass Effect Andromeda being the next one, it would make sense to me that in the early days, they'd be like, oh, how can we shovel in Shepard or so-and-so characters from the original in the early stages? And then I would imagine the team was like, no, we can't make it work. So I'm going to go true, even though Dan makes a good point.
See, I'm leaning towards true because, because like the first rule, it's kind of like a very bad sequel rule that when you create a sequel, somehow someone needs to be related to someone, even though it does make zero sense. And let's face it, whoever wrote Andromeda didn't really do a lot of thinking. So I think it's true.
Question 2. The galaxies of the Andromeda cluster are named after Milky Way explorers, both real and fictional.
True, I think.
I feel like that would be a cool Easter egg.
Yeah.
I think it's
I
true.
would go for true.
Yeah, it feels like they try to do clever things like that.
Yeah, but when you said the word people, because again, I was thinking explorers as in the shuttle, for example, the shuttle Discovery and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm going to say true because that would be quite clever considering the whole point of Andromeda is to be explorers. And that'd be, like I said, Marie said, a good Easter egg. So I like how this is the round where we're most thinkful, trying to think of like, oh, logically. Yeah, I'm going to go true.
Yeah, same here.
Question 3. If you explore one of the colonies for long enough, you will see Andromeda's equivalent of the shifty-looking cow. A creature that used to steal money from players when their backs were turned.
See, this could be because in Mass Effect 3, they also had that Easter egg, didn't they, of the Mars rover?
Yes, they did, which wasn't discovered till much later.
Sorry, which one? What?
In Mass Effect 3, when you first go to Mars, when you first land, if you look behind you, there is some solar panels. And if you weave around them in a certain pattern, a little robot will appear to you and he'll wave and then he'll drive away.
Oh, I never knew that.
It's really, really cute. I recommend after this, Google it on YouTube. Yeah. It's very cute. I even tried it when I did the Legendary Edition. It does work still. I want to say false because I've played Andromeda to the fullest. I've been through all the planets and that's never happened. And I wish it did now. Probably would have made the game a lot more interesting at times, especially when doing space Jenga. Space Sudoku. Either way.
I'm going to say false as well on the basis that people know about the shifty cow. We know about the Mars rover. It could be unhidden. It could be something. But I think if Satsu's saying it on a quiz here, it would have been bigger things.
Well, again, I hate to say it, but it's a true fact. Not many people played Andromeda. So how many people are actually spending their hours going through every planet, combing it completely, trying to find Easter eggs? You know what I mean? So
I still think Satsu's a big liar, though. So.
Oh, God, yeah. But I'm going false. I don't think that's true.
Yeah, I'm also leaning on false on this one and hearing that again.
So false is across the board?
Yep.
Okay, question 4. The initial plan for the planet exploring mechanics was to have procedurally generated biomes that the players could land on, much like No Man's Sky. However, it was promptly scrapped due to limitations.
I like the sound of that.
Ooh,
it feels like something they would have tried to do to completely break away from the trilogy, and it's quite linear nature.
But also what we've got to remember is that Andromeda was made by the B team, not the A team.
This is coming from someone who likes Andromeda.
Oh wait, no, yeah. You've got to love something to be able to hate on it. These were the people that did the DLC for Mass Effect, which again, even the DLC for Mass Effect 3 was good. I wouldn't have them make a full game unless they were part of a huge team. So I don't know, it'd feel like it's something they would try and then realise, oh God, we can't do this. I don't know, maybe I'm just being really mean. Sorry if any developers are listening.
I'm saying true, because it's the initial plan. So I think maybe with all good intents, they wanted to do it. So I'm going to say true, because it sounds like the sort of thing they say, hey, bigger, better, bolder, let's do this. And then they say, but we've got no one that can do that. Okay, let's just scrap that.
I just had a thought. I'm leaning towards true as well, not just because I agree with what Dan said, but also Andromeda was done on the Frostbite engine. It wasn't done on Unreal. And I guess originally the idea was, let's do bigger, better, new engine, new possibilities. And then they realized that the Frostbite engine is made for shooters, not RPGs. Again, I think they ran into the same problem with Inquisition proposition, Dragon Age, was that we want to do big, huge things, but we can't because the software is not made for that. So I'm going to say true. Like, they wanted to do it, but they couldn't because they realized that the engine couldn't do it.
Yeah, I think because it says the initial plan, so my vote is true.
Yeah, I'm going for true too.
Could be false though, Marie. You sure you don't want false? I think you were thinking false. I think you were thinking false, Marie. When you go on.
Yeah, let's just say there's a reason why the new Dragon Age and the next Mass Effect is being done in Unreal Engine, because it can handle RPGs.
Right, are you ready for the final question, which is probably going to decide who's going to be the winner for this one?
No, it's already me being, what's the word? Contrary earlier on has done that, so...
Final question for this round. The initial reactions to the game were so bad that a few fans cosplaying as Mass Effect characters protested outside of BioWare Studios with signs such as "Our faces are tired of you" and "Shepard didn't die for this."
Right, there's something I need to confess to you guys.
It was you.
Sorry, God.
Yeah, I got really mad. You know me, I love a good protest. Okay, to be honest, that does sound true. I mean,
it's 100% true.
Maybe not to the point of protesting, but there were definitely petitions about. I mean, I remember this coming out, and yeah, I was very disappointed as well. So, yeah.
I remember the petitions, and I remember the anger online.
I actually think I remember those slogans. Obviously, memory does funny things, but I think this is 100% true. In fact, I think I remember the articles.
Or Satsu just on a Mandela effect on us.
Possibly, which is why you should probably say false.
Yeah, the Shatsu effect.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, the basement dwellers do crazy things, so...
Whoa,
I don't know.
Marie, come on.
You're really upsetting the fan base right now.
Actually, I was about to say, they never leave the basement.
They're nerds, they don't lift.
Well, they do to do their push-up challenges, which I know they can absolutely do, unlike you, but...
Yeah.
Well, do you want to have a push-up contest, Dan?
No, I'm saying that the wider audience that, we're obviously keeping on side. That's...
Vega didn't die for this as they do their push-ups.
Part of me, this does sound so ridiculous.
Oh, there's worse things that have happened. Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. I'm sure Dan did an episode on fan reactions, and if you haven't, it's a topic definitely want to look into.
Sorry, Luke, all I was going to say is if I didn't believe it or didn't remember at the start, I think it's that thing, our faces are tired of you. I'm sure that rings a bell.
I think it's the same. I'm sure I heard somebody say Shepard didn't die for this.
I'm sure, but outside of BioWare, I mean, that sounds like something someone would just say on Reddit.
Yeah.
I'm going 100% true. 100% true.
I'm sure there were protests online, but I'm leaning towards Marie in the idea of I don't think people would have gone as far as outside of BioWare. I feel like that would have been big news. I don't remember seeing that specifically, but I remember seeing the names and the slogans.
It was 13 years ago or so, wasn't it?
Oh, it wasn't that long ago, was it? It was in 2017.
We're old.
Oh, sorry, Andromeda. Yeah. But no, I think it's true. Don't forget, it only takes one person to do it, or two people.
Yeah.
100% true. Right, you two go false. Don't get the point. I'll gladly take the point.
I'm going to go false.
Give me the point, Satsu. Come on.
Same. I'm going to go false.
No, that's fine. That's it. That's what's won me the game.
Well, no, there's still the bonus round.
No, the bonus is just for fun afterwards. There's got to be a clear winner. He called it before the game. He called it a tiebreaker. There's only a tiebreaker if you're level.
True.
Do you know, I'm the least competitive person, but I love talking a good game. And I think I'm talking it, right? Yeah, 100%
No,
true.
this is coming from the guy who was just like, I'm happy taking third place. And now he's just like, fail. 100%
true. Let's get to the victory fanfare. Come on.
There's blood in the water. He can smell it.
I like that Satsu's just sitting back and letting us tear each
So
other
if you
apart.
want me to do a victory thing, I can record it after.
Are you still there? Have you just left?
Sorry, I went out to make some tea. What were you guys saying? True, false, okay. And yeah, by that sound, of course, the round is over. So, question 1, was Ryder supposed to be Shepard's long-lost brother, voiced by Danny DeVito? Okay, I made up that last part, but
I was
you
about to
get
say, I
what...
did not remember that bit.
That is unfortunately false.
Damn it!
Yeah, there was no plans, as far as I know, for Ryder to be one of Shepard's long-lost relatives. For the second one, that is true.
Woo!
Apparently the areas were named after not only explorers from human history, but there were a couple of like Solarians, Batarians apparently thrown in there. I know, very weird, but...
Oh, like that.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah, it was a nice Easter egg. Number 3, talking about the shifty space cow 2.0. Unfortunately, yeah, it's false.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's no shifty space cows in Andromeda. Question 4, about the procedurally generated biomes and things. That is true, apparently.
Woo.
Oh, I'm on for a clean sweep with this final answer, which is
God damn
100% true.
Yeah, apparently it was meant to be very similar to, well, pre-launch No Man's Sky. It was supposed to be very similar to that, and as you said, Luke, because of the B team taking the helm with this one, yeah, unfortunately they couldn't really realise that, but personally I think that would have probably caused more issues than...
Oh,
yeah,
gotcha.
so good call from their part. And last one, Dan, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to take the wind out your sails. So about the cosplaying protesters. Now, these slogans probably, I mean, I just thought of them off the top of my head and they could have very well been on the internet, but yeah, it's false.
Hey,
Yeah.
suck it, nerd.
That means me and Dan are still
Sorry.
tied, right?
Yep, you're all still tied.
Let's bring that tiebreaker out. It feels like we need it. This now is getting serious now.
Yeah, I can't believe this. Yeah, you've all got 13, so...
Wait, we're all
Wow.
tied.
Lucky number.
Serves me right for being so one direction there, trying to get you all to say true on that last one.
So, final 5 questions. Number 1, EJ is in Mass Effect 1.
True.
True.
You don't have to speed run. You can take your time.
Yeah, I was wondering what was going on there.
I was waiting for Dan. I was like, he hadn't said true.
Well, I was expecting someone to say because.
I mean, I know the reason, but I don't want to give away all the answers.
Yeah, same.
Number 2, Shepard's male appearance is actually based off of his voice actor, Mark Meir.
I think this is true because they based the likeness of the Ryder twins from Andromeda on their voice actors, even though they did the female voice actor dirty with how they made her character look. Just saying, because she's gorgeous in real life and she looks like a toad in the game. Jiminy.
Wow.
Google what the voice actress looks like in real life. She's gorgeous, right? And then you look how they did her dirty in the games and you're like, where did they go wrong?
Well, they watched Wind in the Willows, clearly.
I'm saying false for this.
I think I'm going to go. I mean, because they did it with Miranda. I mean, she's the carbon clone.
Oh, God, yeah.
But male Shep, he looks just like a generic butch guy. I'm going to go with false.
I mean, Luke was confident though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think male Shep looks like anyone.
Have you seen Mark Meir?
To be honest, I haven't.
He does look like him.
I want to Google it now, but I also want to be fair.
No, I'm
to
just,
the, you know,
I'm just
not
messing
going
around.
to.
I'm just messing around. It's fine.
That's Shepard in Incarnate, that is.
Yeah, I'm going to go with false.
Number 3, the voice of the Catalyst in Mass Effect 3 is both voiced by male and female Shep.
Are you talking about the annoying little kid that we have to chase around?
Starchild.
Yeah,
has a
Catalyst, Starchild.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the fandom calls him, Starchild.
Ugh, I just call him an annoying kid that should have died. I hate that dream sequence so much. What did you say? Voiced both by...
Male and female Shep.
It does sound kind of weird.
I feel like I've heard this because they wanted to make the character neutral. So they did both male and female voices together, but I can't remember it being the two male and female.
I literally played this last month.
I can give you the answer. I want these two to go first, and then I think I should get a bonus point for my answer.
Why?
Give your answers first, and then I'll give mine.
I'm not sure. I literally played this last month.
I'm replaying the conversation in my head at the moment that you have with him, and I'm trying to think of like moments. But then again, clever editing in the sound studio, sound mixing and that. I'm going to go false.
I mean, it doesn't sound normal, so I think I'm going to go true.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
You just think about shooting him.
Well,
don't
actually throwing a sustainable brick at him, but...
you? All that.
I mean, it would be a fun little like Easter egg, so I feel like it's true.
All right, I'm going to say this one I am confident in saying is 100% true. And for the bonus point, it's also got the voice of the kid from the start of the game. So it's male Shep, fem Shep, the kid.
And Morden as well. Don't forget.
Why'd you do that?
I think I may have heard something about seashells in there.
Because that's what I always like to Mark Meir, because you know everyone always says that Fem Shep is the best one to play, and I love his response. He's like, I don't mind if you play as Fem Shep because you'll always hear his voice, because I think he's the Vulture as well, and he's in the Catalyst, so he goes, you can't escape his voice. So I'm sure the listeners will say that. So deserves a point, but 100% true. Yeah.
I mean, for a bonus point, I can tell you why Edie is in Mass Effect 1 if we're playing it like that.
No, you missed your chance. Sorry. That's not how it works.
Question 4. During a Cerberus side mission in Mass Effect 1, it is possible to meet Jacob, albeit as an NPC.
Why would you want to?
That's not the question, Dan.
Did I end up shooting him?
He's got a point though.
During a Cerberus side mission. I mean, there's only one Cerberus side mission.
I'll be honest, they all look generic in Mass Effect 1, don't they? Anybody who's not a mainline character. So you wouldn't even be able to tell if you did. I'm going false.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's false. I reckon it could be something about him, but I don't think you run into him. It's a false. Sorry, yeah.
Because he was part of the Alliance. Anyway, go ahead.
Last one. There were once plans to include Mass Effect toys in Happy Meals between Mass Effect 2 and 3, but this was ultimately scrapped.
I don't like McDonald's, but I would definitely get fat if that was the case, because I would be there all the time. I'd be like, I've already got the Morden doll. I want the Garrus doll. I know you have it back there.
We're big Mass Effect fans, but once again, I'm looking through this through marketing brain. That wouldn't be a smart move. Isn't Mass Effect like at least a 15 anyway?
I don't think that's ever stopped them before, though. I'm sure I've seen like things in toys in Happy Meals that are like for older things.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd love it to be true because, again, it'd be nice to have a Mass Effect toy and have the whole collection. I wouldn't say McDonald's in this case. I probably would have said Burger King because that sounds more plausible to me. I know it sounds silly to say, but I would have said that's more of a Burger King thing. But I never heard anything like that, so I'm sticking with false.
I'm going to say false, mainly because I don't recall it, but I wouldn't have been buying Happy Meals then. But I also, again, it's one of those weird things. You come on to that episode, I don't recall seeing anything like that about game tie-ins either. Whereas, I could tell you for a fact there was a KFC James Bond tie, but I don't recall seeing Mass Effect Happy Meal toys, so I'm saying false.
Yeah, me too. From a marketing brain, it doesn't make sense.
I wish there were still Happy Meal toys.
There still are. They just don't give them to you.
I know, but like they're not as good as they was when we were younger. It's like, remember when you used to get toys in your like your crisp packets and you used to get toys in your cereal boxes?
Oh,
Like
the
cereal boxes, that was it, yeah.
Those are the days.
Yeah, I still remember when X2 came out, X-Men 2.
Yes.
And you could get
dog
the
tags.
dog tags.
Yes, I still have one.
Oh, my parents are not sentimental and they probably throw them out. Oh, me and my brother fought so hard to get
I had the
Wolverine.
Cyclops one.
Yes, that was the most common one. And then I think I got Wolverine and my brother was furious at me. And then when Revenge of the Sith came out, you could get lightsabers.
Yes, I had one of those too. It was a little spoon.
The spoon, but also the toy, when with the ball where you were like the maze toy.
Yes, I ate a lot of cereal as a kid.
Oh, bring back cereal toys.
Dan, topic for the podcast.
This should be such a good topic. Top 10 cereal toys.
I think we mentioned this a few times about like how you would buy the cereal. Sorry, Satsu, we're really off topic now, aren't we? So even more so.
Oh, no, you guys go ahead.
You wouldn't eat the cereal. It was the only reason, your mum would say like, are you sure you're going to eat that? Yeah, it's my favourite. Then you would tip out the whole cereal.
Yeah.
Because the toy it would be in the middle. And then it's like, yeah, no, I don't want the cereal.
Also, do you remember back in the day when there used to be DVDs in the cereal?
Yeah,
exclusive games like CDs.
Games. Yeah.
Oh, golden age.
We had a good childhood. Anyway, false.
There's something about Mass Effect. I feel like we were talking about Mass Effect at some point.
I don't know. I'm getting very hungry right now.
We just found out we ate a lot of cereal as kids,
Or we didn't. We just wanted the toys, Luke.
Oh, and that as well, yeah.
By that sound, we have indeed reached the end of the quiz. So, question 1, Edie is in Mass Effect. Yes, that is true.
Yep.
She was on the moon.
She was indeed. Number 2, Shepard's male appearance is actually based off the voice actor Mark Meer. That is false.
Yeah.
As far as I remember, it's a Dutch model that he's based off of. But the funny thing about that, actually, is that he wants nothing to do with Mass Effect.
Oh, really?
Aww.
That's a bit strange.
Yeah, apparently they modelled Male Shep after him and he just does not want to do anything. I think he asked them at one point to turn up to conventions and the armour and everything. He has got no intentions of doing that, which it's a shame.
Imagine being a Dutch Mass Effect fan walking down the street, you see like Shepard walk past you, like, what? He's like, no, it's not me. It's not me.
So, question 3, the voice of the Catalyst in Mass Effect 3 is both male and female Shep. That is correct. That is true.
Ooh.
Apparently they did some spicy audio mixing there to have both of the voices in. Number 4, during a Cerberus side mission in Mass Effect 1, it's possible to meet Jacob. Of course, Dan, why would you? Is indeed false. And last but certainly not least, there were plans to include Mass Effect toys and Happy Meals. That is, of course, false as well. So, looking at the tally, that brings Dan to 18, Luke to 16, and Marie to 18.
I'll gladly share this with you, Marie. I think that's a beautiful moment.
Or do you want one more?
I think they should both do a tiebreaker.
How competitive are you, Marie? Because I'm happy to share it. I'm just putting it out there. I think it's a
like
beautiful
golden
moment.
balls all over again.
It's a beautiful moment in podcasting history here.
Yeah, to be honest, I'd like to keep our friendship.
Yeah, I respect that.
It does generally feel like an episode of Golden Balls. If anyone remember that show here in the UK,
Yeah.
that epic steal, we all remember it.
They showed their true colours on
Definitely.
that. Though. That's all I'll say. Yeah.
No, but this is, we're the PodPack there. We don't do that. Marie, brilliant challenge. Luke, also a brilliant challenge. Let's go in peace to the rest of the galaxy now. What's the question, Satsu? No, I'm happy to leave it if Marie is. But what would the question be, just out of curiosity?
I was actually going to ask you one trivia question, and I was going to see which one of you could get it the fastest.
Oh, I suck at those.
Yeah, just for fun. Just for fun, we'll do it. Just for fun.
Just to lock it in. We're happy being tied
Absolutely.
for first place.
So, who was the voice of the Stargazer at the end of Mass Effect 3? So you know, yep. Wow, Jesus Christ.
It's Buzz Aldrin.
Bingo. Well
Was
done.
it?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that one. See, I would have lost.
Marie, would you have known that?
To be honest, I wouldn't have.
I don't know why, but my brain went to Orson Welles for some unknown reason. I'm like, no, he died way before then.
But it didn't matter, Marie. We share this. So I'll keep the award Monday to Wednesday. You can have it Thursday to Sunday.
Will it be in my cereal?
You have to dig for it, though. No, you won't just get it straight away.
Satsu, thank you. This has been brilliant.
It's been a pleasure, this has.
Oh, no problem. And thank you all for, taking part in this. And as I said, the finale of Mass Effect Month, the finale of Season 4 of Chatsunami, and the 200th episode of Chatsunami. Well, it's been an absolute blast recording this episode. And honestly, I can't wait to go back and re-listen to it.
Yeah, I don't envy you in the editing room at the moment.
In all seriousness, though, thank you all so much for coming on, and not even just that, but as the PodPack Collective, as Dan, of course, you pointed out, coming together and doing this month with me, because it's been an absolute blast just working with you guys, both outside of Mass Effect Month and, of course, on Mass Effect Month as a whole. So, thank you guys.
Oh, it's actually a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much. And just a huge congratulations for reaching 200 episodes. I mean, that is just an amazing achievement. I say this every time I'm on here, but you're the absolute GOAT of indie podcasting.
Well, he's more of a panda, but...
Little of column A, little of column B, depends. But no, in all honesty, thank you guys so much, though.
I'd love to do something like this again. Whatever next year's month or topic is, if we do all come together again, it would be fantastic to do something like this again. Or even just in general. I think it's a lot of fun to do these sort of quizzes with friends.
And I'd like the exact same questions, please, Satsu.
Yeah. Okay, my PayPal is...
Right, who can we bully next? Let's bully Dan to watch anime.
Studio Ghibli.
Well, no, I've already made Satsu play a few other games that I think he's doing a month next year, so we'll meet round here for that one.
A shocking one of the bio variety, of course.
I don't know. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
You're going to have to be reading a lot of Huxley. Something Huxley.
Ayn Rand. Atlas Shrugged. Because I've been wanting to get that. We're going, Satsu, you're losing the room again. But yeah, I've wanted to read that for such a long time, but it's like over 1,000 pages, I think, isn't it? But
oh yeah, it's long. I've read Les Miserables, and I know how long of a book and dry they can be.
Fucking hell. You really are the ginger bookworm. Like,
I am.
Right, Satsu, something about Mass Effect.
Time.
Have we had the tiebreaker yet?
I just think because Les Mis is...
I love the musical as well.
I mean, I'm not disputing it, but the reason is like it's such a big book because back then you were paid per the page, so he made it purposely long.
Yeah, there's 2 chapters just on the French sewer network.
Exactly, it's not edited at all. I just why would you put yourself through that?
It's a good book.
I mean, for the money as well, but...
I've been reading it.
It took me months, but it's a good book.
But on that note, next year we are going to be doing Les Mis month. Well, actually, musical month. That would be a good month.
I would love musical month.
Moulin Rouge, Sweeney Todd. I'm here for it.
Oh no, modern musicals. Hamilton, Hades
I've seen
Town,
Hamilton.
Hedwig and the Angry Inch. We can do classics as well, but
Les Mis. But yeah, thank you all so much for taking part in this episode. And as always, listeners at home, please reach out to us. Tell us how you did. Did you beat the scores of Dan, Luke and Marie?
you probably did.
Probably. My co-host Andrew's probably rubbing his hand right now going, I did it. I finally won a trivia episode. But yeah, on that note, before we wrap up, I'm going to just go in the order of when you guested on Mass Effect month, just to keep it fair. So Luke, first of all, thank you for coming on. Where can these lovely listeners find your content?
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure, Chatsu, so thank you very, very much for having me on. You can find me at the Nerdstalgic Podcast. I'm on all platforms apart from Apple. You can find me on Twitter at Nerdstalgic_pod. You can find me on YouTube as the Nerdstalgic Podcast, and same on Spotify.
And Marie, where can these lovely listeners find your content?
Well, I've got a podcast called 2 Girls, 1 Reusable Cup, and we don't teach you how to fight Reapers, but we do teach you how to fight climate change. And you can find us on wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and you can follow us at 2 Girls, 1 Reusable Cup on Twitter and Instagram. And then you can follow me personally on all the social medias at Life on Mars.
And last but certainly not least, Dan, where can they find you?
Sorry, before I say it, I just need to remember now, next month I need to go on the first one. So so I don't get left behind. You can
Don't make us push you out of an airlock again.
You're just right in there for musical month. I don't care. I've never seen Hamilton. Sure as hell.
As long as you got me on for Hamilton 1, that's all I care about.
There was a second Hamilton.
So I'm Dan from Casting Views. You can find me across all podcast platforms and social media at Casting Views, or search for Casting Views on all of those.
And if you want to check out more episodes from ourselves, as well as our fantastic episodes from Mass Effect month, you can indeed check us out on our website, chatsunami.com, as well as all good podcast apps. I also want to give a huge shout out to our Pandalorian patrons, Robotic Battle Toaster and Sonia. Thank you so much for supporting the show. But if you would also like exclusive content, early access, even behind the scenes content, and some bloopers from this month, then you can indeed check us out at patreon.com/Chatsunami. But until next time, thank you all so much for listening. Stay safe, stay awesome, and most importantly, do you want to all say it at the same time?
Stay hydrated.
Ready if you are.
Oh, I've already hydrated. I think we found a blooper for your Patreon, Satsu.
There you go.
Let's do it on 3. Go on, Satsu.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Stay hydrated.
Hydrated.
That was awful, guys.
Wrap it up. We're going home.